All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to the UW System Virtual Career Trek featuring Organic Valley and hosted by the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. My name is Brenda Leahy and I'm Interim Assistant Director of the Academic Advising Center and Career Services, and very happy to have you join us today. I want to begin just by thanking Haley Carr, who works at UW Superior Career Services. She's a member of the Career Track Committee and she does all the technology for us. And so when we're all nervous and wondering if things are going to work out, she's the one that puts calm in our life and makes it all work. So thank you, Haley. We really appreciate what you do for us. You're going to find that there's a registration form, a link in the chat. Please fill that out. That allows us to keep track of everybody who's in attendance. And I know for some of you, for some of your schools, it's important that you let us know that you're here, and that's how you get credit for being here. So that registration link, again, can be found in the chat. You can see that we have a website that has all of our past career treks on it. So we have had 13 career treks last semester and the same amount this semester. So you will be able to see any of our career treks, or most of them. I think a couple might not be a tape, but you'll be able to see recordings of any of them that are linked here on our official website. And the Career Check is an initiative created by all the career services offices across the state. It's supported by our UW System President Tommy Thompson and our Board of Regents. We're really excited about this initiative. It has given us a great understanding of some fantastic employers that we have across the state. Next week, we'll be hosted by UW River Falls, and we'll be meeting with Turnkey Corrections. We have a couple questions for you, and just so we kind of have an idea of who is here today with us. So if you'll go ahead and let us know which school you're from and what year you are in school. And that will be helpful for us as we start to, helpful for our employers so they have an understanding of who's here today. Thank you for doing that. At this time, I'd like to welcome Organic Valley. We are so happy to see them here today and for them to share information about their organization. In this part of the state, we know them quite well because their presence is really known in this part of the state. Plus, they have the best eggnog I have absolutely ever had. And we had another family taste test this year, and they won again. So, and many other wonderful products. So we're so excited to have them here today. So I'd like to welcome Danny Kohler, and he'll introduce the rest of his team.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brenda. It's good to be with the group today. I'm going to share my screen. Just get a thumbs up or acknowledgement when you can see that.
Danny, I should mention too, if people have questions today, please put it in the chat and we'll try to ask the questions throughout the time or definitely at the end. So please, if you have any questions, please put that in the chat. And one more time, just a reminder, if you haven't filled out that registration form, please go ahead and do that. And again, that link is found in the chat.
Great, thanks so much. So we can get started. We will try our best to wrap up and allow questions at the end. But as Brenda mentioned, if there's any burning questions that the group has through the presentation, feel free to just type in the chat and we'll try our best to monitor that. So for today, we thought it'd be a great idea just to provide you a general overview of the cooperative, our mission. So really, why are we here and how we operate? A little overview of the Driftless region that a lot of our employees call home, which is just outside of La Crosse. So we'll give an overview of our area. And then we also wanted to highlight career opportunities at the end. So with that, we could get started with the group introductions. Maybe. There we go.
So I can go ahead and start. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Allen. I work at Organic Valley as an HR generalist. And so really what that means is I essentially have two parts to my role. First part is in recruitment, so working with hiring managers and filling their open needs. And then I also work in employee relations, so just working on various issues that come up through that and working through conflict resolutions. A little bit about my story and background. I went to school at Mankato State University for a degree in HR. When I graduated, I was applying anywhere and everywhere for an entry-level position and was fortunate enough to have been hired on by Organic Valley as an HR assistant. Originally, my plan was to just kind of work at OV for a couple of years, get some experience, and then move on. But I ended up really falling in love with the cooperative, the mission, the people, everything about it. And I have been really fortunate enough to have been promoted a few times during the 10 years that I've been at OV. And so what really started out as an entry-level foot in the door opportunity really grew into a career here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin Fretch. I am one of the recruitment coordinators here at the cooperative. So kind of what my role more entails of what Emily touched is on the recruitment side of things. So working with those hiring managers on going through applications, going through that interview process, and then helping them onboard employees. And kind of to talk about like my schooling history. So I first went to Western Technical College that's based in La Crosse, got my associates in business management, then went to UW La Crosse for a degree in management with an emphasis in human resources. I decided to take a break from school and focus on working full time. And within the last year here, I actually decided to go back and finish that degree. So currently a student and an employee, so that's kind of a unique situation. But I have been with Organic Valley for 5 years. I started out in sales, and now I have transitioned to HR. So that is awesome.
I'm Danny Kaler, and yes, I am wearing the same sweatshirt today, so I love when that happens. I've been at the co-op about 3 years at the end of this month, and I've honestly loved every part of it. I went to school in La Crosse as well, graduated from Western Tech in La Crosse for business management program. Through school, I was working at an area hotel, so I thought, hospitality management was my calling. But really at the hotel, it was interesting. I had a lot of opportunity to engage and interact with Organic Valley employees that were relocating to the area, as well as farmers that were traveling into the La Crosse area as well, and really kind of piqued my interest. And I did my research and found a great fit at the co-op. I actually started on Katie's team in sales, and I guess unconventionally ended up in HR. So I love what I do in my role. I work with a lot of different hiring managers across the co-op, so I'm constantly learning different functions and different needs and how our very complex supply chain operates. So that's me.
Finally, I'll wrap it up with our welcome. I'm Elizabeth McMullen. I am the PR specialist here at Organic Valley. I've been with the cooperative for about 2.5 years-ish, so a little bit less than the rest of my crew here on the panel. I was a UWL alum. I graduated with a degree in communication studies with an emphasis in organizational communication. And what I do at the co-op is basically, I'm the one that gets interviews for our executives. I make relationships with different media groups and just all around being a great spokesperson for the cooperative. One of my favorite parts about working here is the mission, and that's what really drew me here. And I've been in PR since I've started here, which is awesome. I did get a promotion after 9 months, but ultimately I have been staying in the PR field, which is my dream job. So.
So to kind of get things started, we just kind of wanted to pull the group here. So use the chat box and type in who here has tried an Organic Valley product, and if so, what has been your favorite product?
Here's the chat. Eggnog, Stringles, yes.
There's a lot of good ones to pick from. So awesome. Cheese, milk.
Some good ones are coming in.
Yeah, cool. Well, to kind of get it going and talk a little bit about our background. So if you're not familiar, our cooperative's name is actually Cooperative, but we're known to the public as Organic Valley. We were started in 1988 by a group of 7 farmers, and really how it got started was these 7 farmers. They really pulled together. They were seeing their neighbors lose their farms. They were hearing about all these farmers that were losing their farms because they couldn't make ends meet. And so they decided to join together and formed a cooperative and really kind of set those standards for organic agriculture. It was never their plan to become this billion-dollar company, but it just kind of took off and grew. And so today we now have just under 1,000 employees, so around 950 employees, 1,800 farmers and producers nationwide. The farmers do own the cooperative, so we work for the farmers, and we're basically a marketing cooperative. So we market the product for our farmers, and we have about 90 co-producers and packers throughout the U.S. We do also have just a video here that Danny will play to kind of explain a little bit more about our background.
I'll hit play, but this is our Call It Crazy campaign that we ran a couple of years ago. Just really does a great job of providing some visuals and kind of hearing that story. So I will play.
This is the crazy story of what happens when a bunch of idealistic farmers decide to start a company. It's the story of Organic Valley. You've probably heard of it, but maybe not. As far as names go, it's pretty boring and easy to forget. And that's how beauty shots are made.
I came up with the word Organic Valley. I said, this is easy, people can understand it. It's really not that creative.
We're not a very sophisticated bunch.
Yep, somehow this company with a forgettable name that was started by just 7 organic farmers.
I'm one of the founding farmers for Organic Valley.
In the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, has lasted for 30 years. And today they deliver ridiculously fresh organic milk, eggs, cheese, butter, and cream to families all around the country. But wait, let's back up. This whole thing got started because of this guy.
Okay.
Back in 1988, George was a long-haired, shoeless hippie farmer. He and his farmer buddies were sick of the way food was being grown with toxic pesticides and how farmers were being treated. And he was saying radical stuff like,
the conventional food that you buy in the stores is food raised in a manner that's harmful to the earth.
That's pretty wacky.
Georgie is stubborn, but he's also a very reasonable person.
So George and 6 neighbor farmers decided to start an organic cooperative, which meant the farmers would own and run the company and make food that's better. For you, the animals, the land, and your taste buds.
Yeah, that's a real important thing.
Let's just say in those early days, it was kind of like the Wild West in organics, or the Wild Midwest, we should say.
I was the first chief financial officer, although we didn't call me that.
We did not have any money.
All of us made $5 an hour.
It was day-to-day living.
A couple of years later, some of us went up to 7.
We were never worried about success, we were worried about trying.
Since then, Organic Valley has grown a lot. Over 2,000 small family farmers have joined the cooperative, and all they do is make organic food, the way they would if they owned the company, which they do. Which means no hormones, no GMOs, no antibiotics, and no toxic pesticides. And animals get lots and lots of time out on pasture. Crazy, right? And remember that young idealistic farmer, George? Well, he's still a long-haired shoeless farmer.
I got a reputation to maintain.
But now he's also the CEO, who drives a hybrid car to work. Because that's what happens when a bunch of farmers own the company.
The theme is let's do it our way.
So if you're a person living on planet Earth who sometimes eats food, here's why you should care about this story.
We cannot afford to be degrading our lands any longer.
Small family farms are much more invested in the health of the soil, the health of the animals, the health of the people. It's much more intimate.
Organic Valley is all about promoting that care and supporting that.
Yep, a food company that's owned and run by a bunch of organic farmers. Call us crazy, but it's working. Organic Valley.
All right, so I think we're done here. No, absolutely love that video. Again, just does a great job of highlighting our history and kind of the story behind those, why we're here. So Liz, I'll turn it over to you.
Sounds good. That was one of my favorite videos and one of the first videos I watched here before I had my interview at Organic Valley. So it's pretty cool. So just to give you a little bit of background, our mission is right here. It's our foundation, honestly. The Cooperative's foundation is the mission. Our founding farmers wanted farmers to come first, and that's what we do. Our farmers come first. They are the ones that get a sustainable pay price, and they are the ones that kind of, call the shots. We have a board of directors that are all farmers, and they are the ones that make decisions. And every year we do the voting and things like that. So it's pretty awesome to be part of such a cool concept. And then I just want to touch a little bit about this. We really believe in the GIBB'S triangle, which basically, when trust is the foundation, as you see here, the need of control is minimal, which is pretty awesome to think about, because we all have the same shared goals for the cooperative, and it really helps to avoid instability if we trust each other. So it's a pretty cool concept. And then I wanted to run some numbers by you guys. This is our numbers of 2019. Our 2020 numbers are still not final, but this is what it looked like in 2019. We had $1.1 billion in sales. Again, Emily said we have 950-ish employees. We are 100% renewable powered at our facilities that we own. We have 1,800 organic farmers across 34 states, Canada, Australia, and the UK, which is pretty awesome. We make up 13% of the US certified organic farms, and our average dairy herd size is, can you believe it, 76 cows. So pretty small.
Thanks, Liz.
Yep.
So now we're just going to move into overview of the facilities that employees are primarily working out of. You'll notice that the population is included. For some of you on the call that don't know where LaFarge, Wisconsin is, or Cashton, Wisconsin, encourage you to look at a map. We're on there. It may not appear so, but really impressive buildings that were intentionally placed in these small towns, because really this is where we're rooted in our mission. These are the communities that our founding farmers are from, lived in and farmed in. So really, there's an emphasis to give back to the small farming communities and really build up those local economies. So that was kind of the idea of why we're situated where we are. And just give you a couple stats on our headquarters building here. We can fit about 380 employees. We do have 20 plus conference rooms that are all very unique and really interesting, including a live bark room. The treehouse room is probably my favorite. I'll show you a couple other buildings here. So this is our Cashton campus. Again, smaller population. This is 35 minutes east of La Crosse, just to give you an idea of where we're situated. We do have the office building in the foreground, and then some distribution facilities behind that. This is a kind of drive-up view of our Cashton office building. So you'll see the ag theme throughout the architecture of the buildings, which is pretty unique. The room that I'm in has a windmill in it, and we plug it in and it does turn around. We just don't have it on during the interviews because, you know, so anyways, just kind of cool, fun things that we have in our facilities. This office building does have capacity for about 400 employees. I just wanted to show you a brief shot of the retail store, which my light went off. The retail store is kind of my go-to on the way out of the door. So we have a ton of our products as well as other organic and natural food brands, you know, wellness and kind of household goods in there as well.
All right, so I'm going to touch on the other facilities that we have in the cooperative. This is our distribution center, which is also located in Cashton. This was built in 2007. This is where all of our organic product is stored at and then shipped and received from. And we have about 100 employees that currently work in this facility. The other building that we have in Cashton is our conversion and labeling facility. We call it CAF. We're huge on our acronyms here. And this was built in 2017. This is where our cheese products are cut. So this would include deli, sticks, and shredded cheese. And then we also make another product here. It is called ghee. For those of you that aren't familiar with it is a clarified butter, which is commonly used as like a cooking oil. And about 50 employees work there. This is our creamery based in Chaseburg, Wisconsin. This facility was bought by Crop in 1998. This is a balancing plant which balances out our raw milk supply, and our butter and cream products are also made here, and then 50 employees as well at this facility.
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute. So this is the Cashton Solar Farm, which also has wind as well. This is a relatively new project to us. It went live August of 2019. So it enables us to be 100% renewable at our crop-owned facilities, as well as kind of share in the grid with surrounding communities. This power or the solar farm could power about 342 homes, just to give you a little perspective of the potential there.
So as mentioned earlier, we do have 1,800 family farms. So this visual just kind of gives you an idea of where all of our farmers are located. So as you can see, they are nationwide. All of our products are, so when you purchase an Organic Valley product, it is from a local farmer. So if you buy a carton of milk in California, it did come from a farmer in California, just like if you were to buy a carton of milk here in Wisconsin, it came from a farm in Wisconsin. So I think that that is just a really special thing about us, is that when you do purchase a product, it is coming from a local farmer. And then for those of you that haven't tried our products yet and maybe aren't familiar with some of our products, we did include a picture too, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the products that you can find in stores. So one of the most common questions I get as a recruiter is, okay, so you guys are located in these really small towns. Where do your employees live? And so we definitely have employees that live in the small towns of LaFarge and Cashton, but we also have a large population of our employees that live in the La Crosse area and then Viroqua. La Crosse, I mean, you can see on the slide the population just over 135,000. It's a beautiful area, a lot of outdoor recreation activities, a lot of music and shopping. It's right along the Mississippi River, a very unique and fun downtown area. It's about 35 to 40 minutes away from our Cashton locations. So a lot of employees will carpool, work from home a few days a week. And then also we do provide a Sprinter van. So it's the van van pool program is what we call it. And so what it is Organic Valley provides a van, and the employees kind of meet at a spot in La Crosse, and they take that van to and from work. It's a really great way to save on gas, take turns driving. I ride the van pool and I take naps every morning. So I think that's a great way to get to work. Another location that a lot of employees live in is in Viroqua. If you haven't been to Viroqua, I highly recommend it. It's just a very vibrant city. It's with a lot of character. It has a lot of it's an art community, a lot of foodie type restaurants. It's like part of the food movement, a lot of really unique music and outdoor areas. And that's about 20 minutes away from both of our office buildings in Cashton and in LaFarge.
All right, so just wanted to show a couple more shots of the Driftless region. So on the left, that's of course our headquarters building. In the summer months, we actually have a sunflower patch here that we use for biodiesel, which is part of our sustainability effort as well. So just kind of gives you an idea of the landscape. So we're right in the middle of the Driftless region, so to speak. And then on the right side, that's actually a shot from a documentary that is on YouTube. It's called Decoding the Driftless. I just wanted to put the plug in there because it does a great job of showing the La Crosse area, just the Driftless region, kind of great way to get familiarized with what our area offers.
All right, so switching gears a little bit, we will talk a little bit about one of our main focuses, which is care for people, care for our employees. So next slide, Danny. The one thing that we do like to focus on is giving back to the communities. That's a huge part of our culture here. I won't read all of the slide here, but we do give a lot of food to different charities. But beyond giving food, we do donate through scholarships, grants, and profit sharing to our employees, farmers, and surrounding communities. Another focus of ours is we have a big focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it has been a focus for ours for a while now, but we really are making movement on a lot of different initiatives. So just this past year, we did partner with a third-party consulting group that is helping us put together different goals and incentives and programs, including in 2020, we did establish a racial equity core team. And really that group is integrating racial equity into key business initiatives. So that's a big focus of what they're doing right now. We also do have paid parental leave. And so this is for both the father and the mother of a new child. And then we do also have a big focus of women in leadership. So as of January 2021, women hold 45% of leadership roles and 44% of upper level leadership positions. We also do have the Louise Hempstead Scholarship. So Louise was a member of our executive team, and in memory of her, a yearly scholarship was created for women employees who are furthering their education.
All right, so I'm going to touch base on some of the perks of being an employee at Organic Valley. So having our employees being happy and healthy is a huge priority here at the co-op. We have on-site fitness facilities at both of our office locations. This includes a cardio room and weight room. We offer various amount of classes in our cardio rooms throughout the day that employees can attend. We also have chiropractors and massage therapists that come on site, and employees have access to them if they would like. And then we also have a great reimbursement program for fitness related items or like park passes. So that's awesome as well. And then as of January 1st of 2021, we made our campus is tobacco free. So we are really proud of that. Another perk of working at OV is the food. So we have access to organic food every day. We have cafes at both office locations. Again, we have a great cafe services department here that works really hard and makes amazing breakfasts and lunches for us. And the menu changes every day and showcases our Organic Valley and Organic Prairie products. And then we also have multiple kitchenettes throughout the buildings that employees can go to, and all the fridges are stocked with Organic Valley products. And then we also have free coffee throughout the day. So all of that is a great plus during your work. Our workspace. So the flow of our workstations throughout the offices are very open. As you can see in these pictures here, it's not, the cubicles aren't closed off, and we have standing desks for everybody if they would like to stand throughout the day. Our work areas are very conducive to collaboration, so you can talk with your coworkers very easily. We have over 50 meeting rooms. And as you can see, the meeting rooms are pretty great. Danny's sitting in one of them. The visuals in them are really fun. So it's not just your typical conference room. And then if you are interested in seeing more of what our buildings look like, because the interior design is really state of the art throughout both of our office facilities, we have a video on our YouTube channel that kind of gives you a little tour of our offices. And then professional development. So we encourage our employees to continue learning and growing while they're spending their time here at the cooperative. We have over 300 on-site or online trainings that employees have access to. This is a part of our employee growth incentive program that we have here. And that encourages employees to, engage in professional development trainings, volunteer in their communities, and participate in various wellness activities in those communities as well. We also provide a tuition program here for employees that want to continue education outside of the organization. I personally have used the tuition program here. So that is, another huge plus is being an employee here, having that assistance while continuing school. And that is eligible for all employees who are in good academic standing during their classes.
Okay, we're going to switch gears here and talk a little bit about care for animals and care for the earth, and then we'll get to the fun part of learning about positions that we have here at OV. So we have a unique approach to animal care. Our strong focus on pasture and support system to our farmers is what we really is our bread and butter. So if Danny goes to the next slide, I can talk a little bit about our animal care. So I'm not going to go through this whole slide because there's a lot of information here, but our animals get 50% more grazing time than the organic requirement. Like I said before, our dairy farms have 85% of our dairy farms have less than 100 cows, which means they get more TLC. A lot of our cows have names. It might be one of my favorite parts about the job. And then also we have 5 vets on staff, and our vets do over 5,000 farm visits per year. Just to be there for the animals. And here's just a fun fact. Our cows spend more time grazing outside, more than 95% of dairy cows in the United States. A cool video that I watched when I first started here was we put the fitness trackers on cows, which is on our YouTube channel. It's hilarious, and they take more steps than me. I really don't like admitting that, but sometimes I'm like, okay, that cow definitely walks more than I do. And then we'll just talk about care for the earth quickly. So Danny, if you could go to the next slide. Thank you very much. Like we said before, our facilities are 100% renewable energy as of 2019. We also give opportunities to our employees about classes. So if you want to learn about sustainability or conservation or gardening, Literally, we have a class on gardening. It's pretty awesome. And our HQ in LaFarge is in the middle of the Kickapoo Valley Reserve, which is really cool. Just a little bit on our farms. We have over 350 farms assisting in climate smart procedures on farm. So that could be from solar or wind power to management for manure or riparian restorations, which are pretty interesting. We also have 70 farm projects underway right now as we speak. We have a dedicated sustainability team, and they help grant writing and assist in grant writing for our farmers so we can do more for the planet, which is amazing.
All right. So what kind of departments do we all have, and what kind of jobs do we all have? Listed on this slide is a high-level overview of the different departments that we have. We like to say that we have positions all along the supply chain. So everything from the trucker who is picking up the milk from the farmer, all the way to the sales people who get the product on the shelves in front of the consumer, and everything in between. So we definitely have since we're a marketing cooperative, we have a large marketing department. We have your traditional areas, IT, accounting, food quality is something that is very important to us. So quality assurance, product development. Of course, we have to have a transportation, production, and warehouse, and all of those types of positions. So we do really have a wide variety of different types of roles. I mean, we even have a cafe on site. So we need a cafe staff, right? So a lot of different types of opportunities. Another thing too that I wanted to point out is we do promote from within and want to grow our employees. So in 2020, 34% of the roles that we posted were filled by internal candidates. And so to explain that a little bit further, that does not include promotions. Those are roles that we posted, interviewed, and then hired an internal person. So that does not include someone that went from a coordinator to a senior coordinator or promoted from a supervisor to manager. So obviously that number is a lot higher if you want to include internal promotions. And, Katie mentioned earlier about our professional development courses at OV. So I think between, all of the positions that we fill internally and the different courses that we offer, it just speaks to how Organic Valley really encourages and promotes employees to grow within the company.
So now that you've heard all these great things about OV and you're wondering what current openings we have, we encourage you to go to our website that is listed on this slide here and see what our current openings are. We have multiple openings that come out throughout the year, so please visit it frequently.
Great. So another way that you can gain some experience at Organic Valley, or while you're in school, kind of exploring career paths, highly recommend an internship. I know a lot of other employers had the same messaging in previous career tracks, but we're really proud of our program. Emily actually helped the program get some legs under it and developed it into a pretty cool experience. So I think our busiest year with interns was a couple years back. We had about 20 interns across the co-op. This summer, we are, of course, having a creative approach to the internship program, but we're bringing in 11 interns to support different co-op projects and functions. So really important for us to have that diverse group. Great way to network. Our interns come in, they meet our executive leadership team. They're involved in Learn the Co-op series, so that it could be a internal training about sales or marketing or sustainability. So we really want to provide our interns with a really well-rounded kind of learn as much as the co-op as you can, but also have a really cool project while you're here. I wanted to point out too, the gentleman in the canoe, his name's Kevin. He was hired on as an intern with us a couple of years back, and he actually moved on to achieve global sales manager, so traveling to several countries selling our product. So anyways, just wanted to point out the internships. We typically recruit for this program during the fall semester. So look for us at career fairs. By all means, send an invite to us on LinkedIn. We're going to share our contact info with the student attendees today. Katie mentioned our website. We also offer like interview and resume workshops, and the facilities that you saw earlier on in the slideshow. We love to host groups. So when everything is deemed safe and we're able to do so, by all means, please contact us. We love hosting all kinds of groups, from high school to master's programs, anything. Really, we have the experts for most areas, and there we go. All right, I'm back. So.
All right. So as we're wrapping up, just curious, what stood out to you about our presentation? Is there anything that really spoke to you? And then also, who here is excited to work at Organic Valley? I'm sure the answer is everyone, but please use the chat box to mention anything that really spoke out to you.
And please, if you have any questions, put it in the chat box as well. Can you share, if somebody has a background or an interest in sustainability, or let's say they grew up on a family farm, would that be something that might stand out to you as a candidate? And if so, how should they make sure that you know that about them?
Sure. Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit. So we do have a pools department. It's basically our department that works directly with our farmers. And so anyone with an agriculture background, I think that would be, they have a really good skill set for that area. As you picked up on during our presentation, we are a very mission-driven company. Our mission is something that is very important to us. So if you talk about, you can relate to our mission and things like that, in your cover letter and in your interview, I think that would really stand out to us. And that would be for any position in the co-op, not just specific to positions that work with our farmers.
So I just want to kind of touch a little bit. So I do PR, but in my cover letter, I did mention that I grew up on a dairy farm and I was very passionate about animals and cows and anything in general. And that was, I think, really stood out to my hiring team. So definitely mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We have a question about what is the hiring process like and what can a student do to stand out?
Sure, I can touch on that. So the hiring process really is when we have an opening, we would post it on our website. We would strongly recommend including a cover letter, but it's not required. Just kind of talking about why you're interested in the position, what makes you a good fit for the role. Any sort of exposure I would highlight in your resume and cover letters, and that can be an internship. That can be class projects that you did, that could be classes that you've taken that's related to the position, any sort of volunteer work, anything that shows leadership, initiative, willing to hit the ground running. Those are all the things that we look for. I don't know if anyone else wants to add on to that.
I guess I could add on, definitely check out our YouTube page. I did a lot of looking at the YouTube page when I started and watched all of the videos because it just is a plethora of information, and you get to meet some of our farmers on that page and just hear about our animal care and things like that. And I think that really wowed my team that I interviewed with too.
Yep, those are all great points. I would also put in. I think it's also nice to see we do have such a strong mission here. If you kind of share why that mission resonates with you, I think that stands out as well as a recruiter looking through applications. I know that has stood out to me in the past.
And there is a great resource that we actually pulled a lot of content from that came out last month. It's called the Impact Report. So if you search Organic Valley Impact Report, that's a slideshow, and then there's a video, just kind of high level, how we take a stance on care for people, care for the animals, and care for the earth. Just a really nice job. Thanks, Liz, added it to the chat. Just a really nice job of telling our story and making that connection on a personal level, I think.
Can you share what it's a day in the life of the intern, what that looks like, both now during COVID and when we're back in person?
Yeah, I can take that one. So aside from recruitment coordinator, kind of intern coordinator, so with having a group of interns come from all different locations, have to definitely make sure that the summer's well planned. So this year, I just want to touch on a couple differences. Early on in the hiring process, we had the conversation with hiring managers that, you know, it is possible we could be in this setting. So do you have the capacity and resources to support this internship remotely? And all answered yes, but we are really just kind of monitoring things. We have a really great cleaning program, sanitation program, and really strict COVID guidelines. So anybody coming into the office needs to be taking a self-assessment, and that's going to be the expectation of interns and employees moving forward. But we are really hoping to do somewhat of a hybrid experience. So if it's limited office days, they can still get that in person or at a distance experience, see the facilities, because I think when we can do that, it's really powerful and impactful for the interns. Another thing that's pretty cool is our interns get to go on an Organic Valley farm tour when they join us for the summer. And of course, that's all tentative things, but I just wanted to mention a couple ways that they can interact with our farmers as well. But a day in the life, sorry, there's a second part there. A day in the life would be kind of managing a project. You know, we tend to steer away from the busy work and have a larger scope. We're encouraging our interns to get a fresh set of eyes on a initiative or a project that needs some attention and really run with it. Of course, there's check-ins throughout the summer, so they get the guidance that they need, and then we do have a capstone presentation planned with our leadership as well. So kind of nice way to tie it all in or together at the end of the summer.
We have a question. Someone has a background, graduated in industrial engineering. Do you have a need for that degree at any time?
Definitely at times. Our open positions, it's always changing. So the positions that we have open now will definitely look different in a month or two from now. So if you're not seeing a position that you're interested in at the time being, I would keep an eye on the website and continue to monitor that. We have hired those majors in the past, yes.
And I think we have time for one last question. Can you give an example of a project you have been working on recently, or at least one that you particularly enjoyed?
I can take I can take this. So I am in a group called Emerging Leaders right now, and we are working on a capstone project. So this is outside of my PR job. I applied to be in this program to learn how to be a better leader. And I'm doing a capstone project right now that deals with the district or the DC in Cashton. And it's really interesting because I'm really focused on like media and talking to people and making relationships. And I don't see one side of the cooperative, which is the DC. So I'm learning a lot. And it's just been really eye-opening and interesting. And I give it to the DC people that work there every day in and day out, because I realized I probably couldn't do it. I have no upper body strength, first of all, but it's pretty amazing. So that's probably a project that I've worked on that doesn't directly work with my PR role, but nonetheless, Organic Valley is really awesome about making opportunities for you to excel in your career in different ways.
Can I ask a question to the group? I think it might be nice for some on the call to know. So to the group, what is it that you enjoy the most about Organic Valley? Or was there like an aha moment that you felt like this was the right career fit or career move for you to join the co-op?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely my team. And I think that if you were to ask most employees, they would say the people. We definitely have a family-like atmosphere here. I can honestly say I have fun at work. My coworkers are my friends. We have a lot of fun together, but we also work really, really hard together. We set high expectations and goals for ourselves, and we work together as a team to achieve those. And so I definitely think it's the people. During our presentation too, you saw a lot of the perks that we give to employees. And so I think sometimes it's just the little things. It's the things of like casual dress. It's the fact that I have free coffee every day when I'm in the office. It's just the little things that I just really love about OV.
I would have to second a lot of that. Definitely the people here make the culture, which is so unique here at Organic Valley. Before I came to OV, I worked at a very corporate environment, totally different atmosphere. So when I came to Organic Valley, what drew me obviously was the mission, and I wanted to be a part of something different. Our co-op is very unique. You don't find companies like this everywhere. So when I joined, it was so different from what I was used to. And like Emily said, when you join, it's like you're joining a family. You're not just joining a business. And every team, I've been part of multiple teams during my time here. They've all been great. I've all been friends with most of my coworkers. So it definitely is nice. The perks that I went over obviously help, but for sure the people here is what makes the difference.
I guess I can share quick and then probably wrap up if that sounds good. All right. So yeah, really honest response to my own question that I asked. I should, anyways, for me, it's the farmers. When I was a new employee, our onboarding process is new hire orientation. And on the third day, we tour an area, Organic Valley Farm. So it's an opportunity for employees to really make that connection. I thought it was really interesting that the farm family that we visited was genuinely interested in each employee's function. Like there was an eagerness to learn about what they were doing in the office, and I think it just helps establish that mutual connection that they're working hard on their farms every single day, regardless of the elements, and we're in the office supporting them and making sure that they have a sustainable pay price for their families. So it was just really powerful to hear that family story, share a meal with them, and then stay in touch with them too. Another day that I really enjoyed was a annual meeting date. It was 2 years ago now. We started a group called Working Together. So that was an opportunity of for employees to be paired up with a farmer. My farmer was from Minnesota, and we still talk. So that was really powerful and really cool to just engage with that farmer for 3 days, get to know them on a personal level, attend meetings together and different workshops, and just make that connection with them. So that's only, you know, two of so many ways that we, you know, communicate with our farmers. So it's what we're all about. So any other questions, or Brenda, I can turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you. It was absolutely fantastic getting to learn about Organic Valley. Of course, I know quite a bit being in the area, and I have been lucky enough to visit, and it's phenomenal. So we really thank you, Danny, Caitlin, Elizabeth, and Emily, for sharing your experience with us today. A reminder, this has been recorded, so if you want to go back and watch it again, it will be on the website starting at the latest by next Monday. Thank you to the whole UW System Career Track Committee for putting together this event. And our next event will be next Wednesday with Turnkey Corrections. That will be hosted by UW River Falls. Thank you all for attending today. And I know I've got some YouTube videos to check out about Organic Valley, so I'm looking forward to learning even more. Thanks so much.